Well, right now I am in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and we're out here for the 160th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg, and holy smokes, this place has been crazy. This is my first time being out here for an anniversary, and it has been a blast. There's been so much that's been going on. I'm standing right over here, close to Barlow's Knoll, you can see in the background, which is right by the Adams County Historical Society's Beyond the Battle Museum. All kinds of special things that are going on in Gettysburg this weekend here at the museum. The West Point Museum has brought in some pretty cool artifacts that we're going to go in and take a look at. They also have a special guest who's going to be here today who contributed a lot to the experience of the museum. You probably recognize him from films like Avatar, or as Ike Clanton in Tombstone, my personal favorite movie, or the flamboyant General George Pickett in the movie Gettysburg. Today, we're going to take a little tour through the museum with none other than Stephen Lang. All right, so as you can see, got some things going on here this morning. I think that Stephen Lang is going to be firing off the new cannon that they have here in the museum. And then we're going to go inside and check out some things that are going on in there. And holy smokes, yeah, looks like Stephen Lang just rolled in.
We were devils in the details, JD.
You were fabulous. All right, thank you.
If you'd like some earplugs, it might help out a little bit.
Those are Confederate earplugs.
Very good. Very good.
Okay.
All right.
Same thing. I'll say make ready.
Head up. Head
Make
up.
ready.
Get your head up.
Fire. We could get a photo of him with the battery over here, maybe? Sure. Come on, fellas. This gun crew, come on up and do a photo.
That's great.
All right, we're getting ready to dodge into the museum. Now, Stephen has a few things that he is going to be doing. He's going to be taking a tour of the museum. But first, I want to go in and show some of the things that the West Point Museum has brought out here just for the 160th anniversary. All right, like I said, we're out at the Adams County Historical Society. We've been out here before, done a few videos, but during the anniversaries, there's all kinds of cool things that happen here. And one of the things they have going on here at the museum is a partnership with the West Point Museum. And I really wanted to show some of the artifacts that the West Point Museum brought out. All right, so here's what I'm talking about. Of course, the West Point Museum has things here, so they're going to be bringing items that are connected with West Point. And what we're looking at is a guidon for Battery D of the 5th U.S. Artillery. They were also known as the West Point Battery. And then also, if you are familiar with the Battle of Gettysburg, well, you're probably familiar with the story of John Reynolds, who was killed on the first day of the battle. What you may not know is that when hostilities broke out right before the Civil War, well, Reynolds was actually the commandant at West Point.
Hi everyone, my name is Aaron. I am here with the West Point Museum at the amazing new facility that is the Adams County Historical Society at Gettysburg. We do want to thank them for having us out. And I brought with me today some of our most rare and unique artifacts that are either related to or were present at the Battle of Gettysburg. So we've got everything from cadet life, cadet photographs, photos and prints of West Point, what West Point looks like in West Point life, all the way down to prints of the Battle of Gettysburg and some of the artifacts that were here. So I guess as long as I'm down here, let me give you a little intro of what we have. So Some of you that might have been following us here today over the weekend, you might have seen, well, for instance, one of my favorite artifacts, General Warren's field glasses that he used on Little Round Top. So we took those up to Little Round Top yesterday morning for the first time in 160 years. And unfortunately, that's the last time they're going up there because unfortunately they aren't in the greatest of shape. So we're honored to have the occasion to bring these items back to us. Of course, we've also got a pistol holster that belonged to Lieutenant George Woodruff, a class of 1861, May of 1861. And he graduated, he goes on, commissions into the artillery, but unfortunately during Pickett's charge on July 3rd, he is mortally wounded. Now, I'm going to tie that into another artifact we have down here, but let me go on for some more. So speaking of Pickett's charge, we have a cane made for General Alexander Webb. That was produced by the members of his brigade out of a Confederate flagstaff that was captured during Pickett's charge by Pickett's most advanced Virginia regiment on July 3rd, 1863. Continuing with our Warren theme, we have his General Officer sash, General Warren sash, that is, not General Webb's. And this is what we believe he might have been wearing with him in this photograph over here, or this drawing, for instance, of him on Little Round Top. So General Warren's sash that was donated by his daughter Emily. And of course, you know, one of our prize artifacts here is the slouch hat that belonged to General Warren. This is a hat that was at least in possession of General General Sedgwick at the time of his death at the Battle of Spotsylvania Courthouse in May of 1864, so about a year after the battle here. So this was donated by another West Point graduate, Emory Upton. Couple decades after the war, it remained in his possession for quite a bit of time. So now we're kind of straying away from the battle a little bit more, but before we get away from the battle, let's talk about some of the artifacts that pertain to the battle as well. We have a sword here that belonged to Captain during the battle, Captain John C. Tidball. Tidball was commanding a brigade as a captain of horse artillery here in the Battle of Gettysburg, and he would have carried the sword with him through the battle. Also present at the battle over at Sherfy's farm in the Peach Orchard was this cap that belonged to an officer in the 114th Pennsylvania, affectionately known as Collis's Zouaves. Now, many of our esteemed history comrades out there are very familiar with other goings on in the Civil War at this time. So we've got the Siege of Vicksburg. Now we've got this shoulder strap here of Major General Ulysses S. Grant. He would have been wearing this particular shoulder board during the Siege of Vicksburg, Mississippi that's going on concurrently to the Battle of Gettysburg. Or should I say coming to an end. So it'll come to an end on July 4th. Now, let's rewind. Let's talk about a little pre-war stuff. So we've got the 1855 epaulets, the full dress uniform that belonged to then newly minted Captain Alfred Pleasanton. Now, he was a newly minted captain in the 2nd Dragoons in 1855. Immaculately preserved, and we're very fortunate to have those. He was a cavalry corps commander here at the battle. So we are very fortunate to have in our collections the Medal of Honor belonging to General Alexander Webb. Now, Alexander Webb was in command of troops during Pickett's charge. We've got a lot of connection to Pickett's charge here, and that's because General Webb, his role in Pickett's charge, he led troops so successfully that in 1891, the Congress of the United States awarded him the Medal of Honor for his actions that day. Now, many of you might be wondering, hey, that's not a Civil War Medal of Honor. Well, that's correct. So this is General Webb's replacement Medal of Honor that he would have received, the model of 1904. So if you zoom in and you look closely, you'll notice there are some differences to the Medal of Honor between what we see today. So for instance, 2008, when Alonzo Cushing received his Medal of Honor, you'll notice that the stars are kind of obstructed by the brass that is hanging from this device. Well, nowadays, that's called a rosary, and those 13 stripes, or 13 stars, are actually now going to be more visible, so it looks more neat. So like I said before, we've got a lot of items that pertain to the Battle of Gettysburg, Civil War history and memory, but we also stem to the left and right of it and cover American history that stems all the way back to our War of Independence, all the way up until the War on Terror.
All right, we just got into the museum here. Now, as you walk into the museum, there's a little program that plays on the Devil's Den rocks, and it kind of tells a little bit of the backstory of Gettysburg. Well, the man who provided the voiceover for this part of the museum was Stephen Lang. So he's going to be coming in a second and is going to be seeing this for the first time.
In the beginning was the land, unstoried, unenhanced. Shaped by powerful forces, mighty and minute. Life came, great and small, hopeful. Then came the dream of a land where we, the people, are endowed with the right to rise. The land and the dream drew us here. The dream became the pursuit of life, liberty, happiness, here on this land. And so the story begins.
We've done a few videos here at the Beyond the Battle Museum, and if you've watched those videos, you know that there's an immersive experience inside of the museum called Caught in the Crossfire, where you're literally in the shoes of a family whose home is like right in the middle of battle. So you're kind of seeing things as they see it. Anyway, Stephen and his crew just went in there to check that out. I decided to kind of hang back and just let them enjoy that experience, but yeah, anxious to hear what he thinks about it. On my first visit to the museum, I don't think that I showed this. One of the well-known residents of Gettysburg was Thaddeus Stevens. He was played by Tommy Lee Jones in the movie Lincoln. And here they have a chair that sat in the law office of Thaddeus Stevens. And they also have some books that belong to Thaddeus Stevens. Yeah, pretty cool.
When you walk out too, you'll see the back wall. The back wall, we had the scenic artists from the museum. The scenic artists from the museum designed this to kind of appear as a battle-damaged house would have appeared. And we embedded real bullets from the battle in the walls, and canister and shells. What did you think of the immersive experience?
It's unique, a totally unique experience, very convincing. It makes your heart palpitate a bit, I think. A lot of it, the sound is very, very effective, but also the tremors, the physical tremors in the floor and everything, the pounding and everything is very dramatic. It has the same kind of effect on you that that a really good movie has on you. It kind of gets you going. But what's so unique about it is that this is not primarily a visual experience. There is no movie here. It's really kind of operating on different senses. It's really operating on the ears and on the kind of the lack of sight and I guess on just the power of the imagination, because you're imagining what's going on outside. It's very vivid, beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful, really beautiful. Yeah.
this is all
Never
about the
experienced
aftermath.
anything like it, quite like it
Never
experienced anything like it, quite like it before. Yeah, I think it's going to be very, very popular with people.
Thank you.
Departing audience and the cheers of the crowd that had surrounded the church around him.
Nice ending.
Thank you. Oh, it's a terrific museum.
Thank you so much.
That is
Thank you for
great,
what you've
really.
given to it. It really enhanced it.
I had no idea that I was doing this. I'll send the bill soon.
I thought we gave you a slice of pizza, right? It was that margarita pizza.
No, it's just great.
Thank you.
It's great.
It means a lot,
Yeah,
really.
it's going to do just great.
It has. We've opened in April. We've already had 10,000 visitors, so we're doing well.
Wow, that's great.
It's just-
Okay, well, keep at it.
Thank you
Congratulations.
so much. All right.
All right, well, that was pretty dang cool. I don't get to hang out with Stephen Lang very often, and by very often I mean ever. But it was really neat to see this guy who has really contributed so much to the town of Gettysburg and people's interest in the battle. He's also written a children's book on the wheat field that you definitely need to check out. But it was really interesting to kind of be able to hang out with him and see his reaction to the museum for the first time, which he made a lot of contributions to. But anyway, that was right here at the Beyond the Battle Museum in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.